You think you know what extreme means until you see what these animals can actually do? A mantis shrimp punches with the force of a bullet. An octopus becomes completely invisible in 3/10 of a second. And one tiny creature can literally survive in the vacuum of space for 30 years and come back to life. These aren't superpowers from comic books. These are real abilities that exist right now on our planet, and most people have no idea just how mind-blowing they actually are. I've spent months researching the most incredible animal abilities that seem to defy the laws of physics, and what I discovered will completely change how you see the natural world. Some of these abilities are so advanced that our best human technology still can't replicate them, and others are inspiring the next generation of military weapons and medical devices. But here's what really blew my mind. Every single one of these abilities evolved naturally over millions of years, which means nature has been solving engineering problems that we're still struggling with today. By the time you finish watching this video, you'll understand why scientists are racing to unlock these biological secrets and why some of these discoveries could revolutionize human technology forever. Let's start with something that sounds impossible but happens every single day in our oceans. The mantis shrimp doesn't look like much, but this colorful crustacean packs a punch that would make a heavyweight boxer jealous. When a mantis shrimp strikes, its club moves so fast it creates cavitation bubbles that collapse with the heat of the sun. We're talking about temperatures reaching 8,000 degrees Fahrenheit underwater. That's hot enough to melt copper. But here's what makes this even more incredible. The acceleration of their punch is over 10,000 times faster than gravity itself. To put that in perspective, if a human could punch with the same acceleration, we could launch a baseball into orbit. Their spring-loaded mechanism stores energy like a crossbow and releases it in just 3 milliseconds. The impact creates an underwater sonic boom that can kill prey instantly, even if the punch misses. Now you might be thinking, how is this tiny creature not destroying itself with every punch? Their clubs are made of the same material as bulletproof vests, but arranged in a way that's actually stronger than most man-made composites. Scientists are now studying mantis shrimp clubs to develop better body armor for soldiers. But wait, because their punching ability isn't even their most impressive feature. The peacock mantis shrimp has eyes that make our vision look primitive. While humans have 3 types of color receptors, these creatures have 16. They can see ultraviolet light, infrared radiation, and polarized light patterns that are completely invisible to us. Each eye moves independently and contains over 10,000 individual photoreceptors that process visual information faster than any camera we've ever built. Think about this for a moment. They're essentially seeing colors that don't exist in our reality. When they look at you, they're seeing details about your body heat, the polarization of light reflecting off your skin, and ultraviolet patterns that you'll never know are there. It's like having X-ray vision combined with thermal imaging and a few superpowers we don't even have names for yet. Their visual system is so advanced that it's inspired engineers to develop new types of satellite imaging systems and optical sensors. The technology in your smartphone camera is still decades behind what a mantis shrimp carries around in its head every day. Speaking of eyes, let me tell you about an ability that makes invisibility cloaks look like children's toys. An octopus can completely disappear in 3/10 of a second. Not just change color, but transform their entire appearance, including shape and texture, to perfectly match their surroundings. Their skin contains millions of specialized cells called chromatophores that work like biological pixels, expanding and contracting to create any pattern found in nature. But here's what seems impossible. They accomplish this transformation without any conscious thought or planning. It's completely automatic. Their skin is essentially a living computer screen that updates in real time based on what they're looking at. They can even display different patterns on each side of their body simultaneously, showing one camouflage pattern to a predator on their left while showing a completely different pattern to prey on their right. Some of you are probably wondering how they know what pattern to create if they can't see their own skin. Scientists recently discovered that octopus skin contains the same light-sensitive proteins found in their eyes. Their skin can literally see the colors around them and automatically match them without any input from their brain. Military researchers have been trying to develop adaptive camouflage for decades, spending billions of dollars on electronic systems that still can't match what an octopus does naturally every single day. Now let's talk about an ability that makes the fastest sports cars look slow. A cheetah can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. But unlike a car that needs a straight road, cheetahs accomplish this while making sharp turns and direction changes. Their spine works like a biological spring, extending and contracting with each stride to add extra power to every step. During a full sprint, cheetahs spend more time airborne than touching the ground. They're essentially flying between steps, covering 25 feet with each stride. Their heart rate increases to over 200 beats per minute, and their core temperature rises so high they can only maintain top speed for about 20 seconds before risking death from overheating. But here's what really sets them apart from any machine we've built. Their specialized claws work like biological cleats, providing traction that racing tire engineers are still trying to figure out. They can change direction at full speed without losing grip, something that would send any vehicle spinning out of control. The aerodynamics are just as impressive. Their body shape reduces air resistance so effectively that they experience less drag than most motorcycles, despite having a completely non-aerodynamic head and legs sticking out everywhere. You've probably experienced this next ability without realizing how extraordinary it actually is. Geckos can hang upside down from glass using just one toe, and they do it without producing any glue or secretion. Each toe pad contains millions of microscopic hairs called setae that interact with surfaces at the molecular level using van der Waals forces. These are the same forces that hold molecules together, which means geckos are literally using physics to stick to anything. A single gecko toe can support the entire weight of the animal while completely defying gravity. But what makes their grip even more amazing is that they can turn their adhesion on and off instantly. They're not stuck to surfaces, they're choosing to stick to them. This allows them to run across ceilings at full speed, something that seems to violate everything we know about physics. NASA has spent years trying to replicate gecko feet for use in space missions. They want to create gloves that would allow astronauts to climb around the outside of spacecraft without any equipment. So far, our best attempts can barely hold a fraction of the weight that gecko feet can support effortlessly. But if you think defying gravity is impressive, wait until you hear about animals that have mastered something even more fundamental. Electric eels can generate enough electricity to power 10 light bulbs simultaneously. But here's what makes them truly terrifying. They don't just shock things randomly, they can coordinate their electrical attacks like a living weapon system. Scientists recently discovered that electric eels hunt in groups, creating electrical fields that stun entire schools of fish at once. Their bodies contain over 5,000 specialized cells called electrocytes that work like biological batteries. When threatened, they can release 600 volts in a single burst. That's enough electricity to stop a human heart, and the electrical discharge travels through water at the speed of light, making escape nearly impossible. Now, you might be thinking that generating electricity would be dangerous for the eel itself, but they've evolved a perfect solution. Their vital organs are concentrated in the front 20% of their body, while the electrical generating cells are located in the back. They're essentially living electrical weapons with built-in safety systems. Military researchers are studying electric eels to develop new types of underwater defense systems and bioelectric power sources. The idea of creating living batteries based on eel biology could revolutionize how we think about renewable energy. Speaking of electricity, there's another creature that takes bioelectricity to an even more sophisticated level. Electric rays can generate and control electrical discharges ranging from gentle tingles to paralyzing shocks. Unlike electric eels that discharge at maximum power, rays can adjust their electrical output based on threat level and prey size. They use low-voltage pulses for navigation and communication, saving high-voltage attacks for hunting and defense. Their electric organs contain over 500,000 specialized cells that work like living batteries connected in series. But here's what makes them truly remarkable. They can produce different electrical wave patterns and frequencies like a biological radio transmitter. They're essentially communicating through electricity while also using it as a weapon. This level of electrical control is so sophisticated that marine researchers are studying rays to develop better underwater communication systems for submarines and deep-sea exploration equipment. But electricity isn't the only energy form that animals have mastered in ways that seem impossible. Pistol shrimp create bubbles hotter than the surface of the sun using nothing but water. When their specialized claw snaps shut at over 60 miles per hour, it creates a pressure wave that generates temperatures of 8,000 degrees. The collapsing bubble produces a sonic boom louder than a gunshot that can be heard by submarines miles away. These tiny crustaceans can actually interfere with naval sonar systems because their bubble weapons are so loud. The claw works like a biological water cannon, shooting jets that create vacuum bubbles in milliseconds. When those bubbles collapse, they release enough energy to kill fish instantly, even from a distance. The physics behind this are so complex that scientists are still trying to fully understand how something smaller than your thumb can create such destruction. The applications for underwater welding, cleaning systems, and even medical devices are almost limitless. Now let's talk about an ability that makes the most advanced thermal imaging equipment look primitive. Vampire bats can detect blood vessels through skin using thermal sensors more sensitive than military equipment. Their heat-detecting organs can sense temperature differences as small as 0.05 of a degree. This thermal mapping allows them to locate the warmest blood vessels just beneath their victim's skin surface. The specialized sensors contain more nerve endings than a human fingertip, concentrated in an area smaller than a pinhead. Their heat sensors outperform most military thermal imaging equipment that costs millions of dollars to develop. Medical researchers are now studying vampire bat thermal detection to create better diagnostic tools for detecting circulation problems and internal injuries. But thermal detection is just one type of supernatural sense that animals have developed. Dolphins use echolocation that can detect objects the size of a golf ball from over 300 feet away. They produce over 1,000 clicking sounds per second and process the returning echoes faster than any computer. Their biological sonar system can see inside objects, detecting fish hiding in sand or air pockets in underwater caves. Navy sonar systems based on dolphin research can now detect submarines hidden on the ocean floor. But dolphins still outperform our best technology because they can adjust their sonar frequency in real time and interpret complex three-dimensional images from sound waves alone. Some of you might be wondering how a brain the size of a dolphin's can process all this information so quickly. The answer is that their brain is organized completely differently from ours, with specialized regions dedicated entirely to processing acoustic information. But if you think dolphin sonar is impressive, wait until you hear about animals that can hunt with senses we don't even possess. Platypus can hunt underwater with their eyes and ears completely closed using only electrical field detection. Their bill contains over 40,000 electroreceptors that detect the electrical fields generated by muscle contractions in prey. This biological radar system allows them to locate shrimp and small fish hiding in murky water where vision is useless. They can distinguish between living prey and inanimate objects based entirely on electrical signatures. Their electroreception can detect electrical fields as weak as 50 microvolts, more sensitive than most scientific instruments. It's like having a superpower that allows them to see the life force of other creatures. Now here's where things get really wild, because we haven't even talked about the most indestructible creature on the planet. Tardigrades can survive in the vacuum of space, extreme radiation, and temperatures near absolute zero. These microscopic animals can remain dormant for over 30 years and instantly return to life when conditions improve. They enter a state called cryptobiosis, essentially dying and coming back to life repeatedly. During extreme conditions, they lose over 99% of their body water and curl into an indestructible ball. Scientists have revived tardigrades after exposure to conditions that would sterilize most life on Earth. They can repair massive DNA damage that would be fatal to any other known organism on the planet. Space agencies are studying tardigrades to understand how life might survive on other planets and how we might protect astronauts during long space missions. They're basically biological time capsules that prove life can exist in environments we thought were completely impossible. But let me tell you about one more ability that combines speed, precision, and physics in a way that seems to break the laws of nature. Peregrine falcons reach speeds over 200 miles per hour during hunting dives while maintaining perfect accuracy. At those speeds, they can still make split-second adjustments to intercept moving prey. Their specialized nostrils contain cone-shaped baffles that prevent air pressure from collapsing their lungs during high-speed dives. Their eyes process visual information 60 times faster than humans, allowing them to track prey movement even at maximum velocity. During the final approach, they pull out of dives with G-forces that would cause fighter pilots to lose consciousness. Their talons and leg bones are reinforced with extra calcium deposits that absorb collision forces like biological shock absorbers. Fighter jet designers study peregrine falcon aerodynamics to improve aircraft performance, but we still haven't built anything that can match their combination of speed, maneuverability, and precision. So here's what all of this means for us as humans. Every single one of these abilities represents millions of years of evolution solving engineering problems that we're still working on today. Nature has already figured out invisibility, renewable energy, thermal imaging, sonar, electrical weapons, and even space survival. The question isn't whether we can learn from these animals, it's how quickly we can figure out their secrets and apply them to human technology. Some of these discoveries could lead to medical breakthroughs that save millions of lives. Others could revolutionize how we generate energy, build materials, or explore space. But here's what I find most incredible about all of this. These aren't ancient abilities that disappeared millions of years ago. Every single one of these animals is alive right now, using these superpowers every single day. While you've been watching this video, mantis shrimp have been punching with the force of bullets, octopus have been disappearing and reappearing, and tardigrades have been surviving in conditions that would instantly kill us. The natural world is full of solutions to problems we didn't even know existed. And the more we study these incredible abilities, the more we realize that we've barely scratched the surface of what's possible. I want to know which of these abilities amazed you the most. Drop a comment and let me know if you think humans will ever develop technology that matches what these animals can do naturally. And if you want to see more incredible discoveries that are changing how we understand life on Earth, make sure to subscribe because I'm constantly finding new examples of animals that seem to have cheat codes enabled for reality itself. The universe is way more incredible than most people realize, and these animals are proof that the impossible happens every single day.